I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today.
Okay, so here we are for the first time with the official actress of Allison Angel and Allison Angel from Bendy and the Ink Machine and Bendy and the Art Revival. So how are you, Lauren? How do you feel today?
Hi, I am so happy and excited to be here, to be talking to you, and to be able to just be part of this incredible community that you've created. This is such an honor for me.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you so much for accepting this interview.
Of course, my pleasure.
Basically, we're planning to ask 3 questions that I made myself. And then you're going to ask 7 questions from the fans.
That sounds perfect.
But before, let me introduce myself. My name is, as you know, Bendy content creator. I am a YouTuber from Bendy, from the Latin community, kind of renowned. So I basically made videos about the official content and fan-made content, make videos about the fan games from Bendy, videos from the mods from Bendy. So that was a thing that made me to win a name in the community. So let's start with the questions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's start with the questions. The first question is, I know this question has been asked you more than any other. But how do you feel about participating in Bendy and the Ink Machine and Bendy and the Dark Revival?
Oh, I mean, it's a dream come true. You know, this is such a rare situation, and I imagine we'll get into it a little bit more. But just to answer your question right off the bat, this was unique and special, and not only was I a voice of these characters that I love, I helped to create them and to shape them and really to take ownership of them and add myself and my experiences to them. So it's really just been, this has been a life-changing opportunity for me.
Yeah.
And I'm forever grateful to the Meatly for this opportunity, and to my nephew Liam, because without Liam, I would never even know about Bendy. So thank you, Lily, for your 9-year-old self, for introducing me to the Bendy world, and for giving me a reason to reach out, wanting to be a part of it.
That's cool. That's great to know that. The second question is, how do you get to know, well, this, you already answered the question in this answer, but...
Oh no! I was trying to still answer.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Well, the question is, how do you know the world of Bendy and the Ink Machine? How did you feel about being cast as Allison Angel and Allison Angel later on? If you want, you can just answer the second question. How do you feel about being cast as Allison Angel? The other one you already answered. So it's okay.
I mean, again, it's a... being cast as Alice Angel, and you said in later Allison, is that what you said? Okay, so I guess the best place to start is to share the story. Is it okay if I take a little time here?
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can.
Perfect.
You can explain.
To give you context and explain everything. So keep me on track. Like if I forget to talk, I shouldn't forget to talk about Allison, because that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
But I'll just start by letting you know that my nephew, again, 9 years old at the time, was listening to Build Our Machine by Will DA Games, Ryan. And I was walked into the room. I heard it. I was like, this is really cool. And the visuals were kind of cool. And I'm like, what is this? This is neat. And I because my nephew knows I'm a voice actress and just thinks I'm the coolest person on the face of this planet, I can't disappoint him by not knowing something about video games. I don't know everything about video games just because I'm a voice actress.
Yeah.
I didn't want to let him down though. So I tried to play it cool. And I was just like, yeah, Liam, like this is a cool song. And I was just kind of like dancing around it. I was like, so, like what is this? And he's like, oh, Bendy. Like I'm supposed to know what that is.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't want to disappoint my 9-year-old nephew who just thinks the world of me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to ask, what's Bendy? But I didn't know what else to say. So I had to ask him, what's Bendy? And he rolls his eyes and sighs very heavily. He's very disappointed in me. And then he says, I'll show you. So he shows me the game. He played through the first chapter and then into the second chapter. And my jaw was just on the floor. I fell in love with the aesthetic. I loved the story, the idea of this world. I was just sucked in. Everything from, Will's song. It all started with Will's song. And side note, it's very cute. And Will does know about this. Whenever my nephew and I get together, it's kind of a tradition that we would listen to Build Our Machine. Like every time I'd come into town, he was like, we have to listen to Build Our Machine. Like that was like his thing. So, we'd have to listen and sing along. Just kind of fun.
Yeah.
But gotta do what the nephew wants, you gotta do it.
That's okay.
But anyway, so he showed me the game and I was just blown away and I fell in love. Chapter two is my favorite. And chapter 2 is my favorite because one, I feel like it was what made me fall in love with Bendy.
Yeah.
From the psychological horror to the little pop-ups of Bendy and the puzzles you have to solve in the music room. It was just fascinating. And on top of it, there was a little poster of a little angel devil on a wall called Allison Angel. And it said, sent from above. She sings, she dances. And I saw that poster and I was just like, her. I want to be her. What do I need to do to be her? So I went home and I started doing some research and I found, I saw that the creator of Bendy was some guy called the Meatly. And I'm just like, the Meatly? Like, that's okay. I'll reach out to the Meatly then, I guess. So I put an email together, for the Meatly. And I did want to just kind of mention it at this time that I was working on another game. Like we're working on projects all the time.
Yeah.
And one of the games that I was working on that was non-union went union. And this character I voiced for 4.5 years went to another voice actress. And it was just soul crushing. It was so disappointing. It's not so much like when you audition, you don't always expect to land the roles. Yeah. But when you land something and then have it taken from you, there's just no feeling like that. And it almost made me rage quit the industry. It really did. And it was not the first time it's happened. But it hit hard. And so I had written this whole email to the Meatly, letting him know who I was, telling him my nephew introduced me to the game and anything my nephew loves enough to introduce me to is something I want to be a part of. So I was ready to go. I had written this email. I attached my demo. I was ready to send it. I had edited it and looked it over, reviewed it multiple times. It was ready. All I had to do was hit send, and I could not bring myself to hit send. And I thought about it and I was just like, I can't do it. I'm not sending it. What's the point? At that point, I was in a bad place. Yeah. And I was just like, what's the point? He's not going to care. He's not going to listen. He's not going to pay attention. It's just going to be another crushed dream, another missed opportunity. And, I had my husband come and review my letter, and I told him how I was feeling and, where my thoughts were. And he's like, you're not being fair. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's just like, you haven't even given him the benefit of the doubt. You don't know. This could be the opportunity that changes your life. And don't you hate it when people are right?
Yeah, he was so right. He actually was so right.
He was so right. And he said, he's like, Lauren, you have the entire email written. It sounds great. Your demo's attached. All you have to do is hit send. Just hit send. You have nothing to lose. So I hit send. And 2 weeks later, I had an email from the Meatly saying, that they loved my demo and wanted to talk to me about a character they had in mind for me. So that was in May, early May. And then mid-May was when we had our meeting to talk about this character. And I'm thinking to myself, please tell me it's that Angel girl. Please tell me it's Alice Angel. And we started talking. We talked for 3 hours, and we just ride the same kind of creative waves. And we had such a productive and fun conversation. And, we just batted around ideas. And he did tell me, like, yes, the character I have in mind for you is Alice Angel. I'd love to hear you read for her. And he's like, do you have any ideas? And I said, well, I'm looking at her picture and I see she's an angel devil. She's got horns and a halo. So I hear her having 2 voices. And he's like, really? I said, yeah, I hear her having 2 voices. And he's like, so, could you do a little for me? I'm like, you want me to right now just like come up with something like on the fly? So I did. And the idea that I had was actually, if you're familiar with Batman, the animated series, it's Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's really kind of the birth of Alice Angel, was that, and Meatley is a huge fan also of the Batman animated series. And so I started off just kind of going like, oh, nice work, Butterfingers. Why don't you just turn on the bat signal while you were at it? I wasn't trying to get caught. So that's kind of where it all started, was these voices of Harley and Ivy. But, she's an angel. And so I wanted to work in a little more of like a angelic type of presence to her. Because Harley, she's got an edge to her.
Yeah.
And I wanted the angel voice to be very sweet. So Marilyn Monroe came into play. Adding that little breathiness and then just softening up the voice. And so it's a little bit Harley, but it's very Marilyn Monroe. So that was where the angel voice came from. And then the devil voice was, again, it was mostly started in Ivy, but then I just, she kind of started here, but then I just added a little bit more of that growl to her voice. And then there's Alice Angel. It was just kind of like, yeah. So it was really trial and error, but starting in that place. And he gave me script to read. I read some script. He showed me a picture of what she looked like in the game. I was like, whoa. He's like, yeah, she's a villain. I'm like, what?
Yeah, she
What?
was a villain.
What?
I was surprised as too. When I was playing chapter 3 for first time, I thought that Alice Angel was a good character like Boris, but no, she was a villain. Then I saw the jump scare of her in the Heavenly Toys. I was like, what? She's a villain. Why?
Come to me now. Level.
Yeah, it was.
Just follow the screen.
It was so.
Yeah,
creepy.
I mean, it was so unexpected. And I remember all the speculation, because when chapter 2 released, there was all the speculation. She's a good guy. She's a bad guy. Like, nobody knew. And it was so fun to know what was going on and be like, mwah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was hard not to tell people. It was very hard not to talk about it. But it was so cool. And I remember when my nephew, when I told him I was Alice Angel, the way I told him, it was around the time it was his 10th birthday. And I told him the Meatley autographed a poster of Alice Angel for him. And I autographed it too. And we wrapped it. And I have a video of him opening it. And I was like, look at it. Look at the signature. And he's like looking at it like, I don't understand. And I was just like, I'm Alice Angel.
That's
and he
great.
went,
That was cool. Yeah, I can see that. That was cool. It was cool.
It was really cool. So it started there. And what was wild is, like, as we're talking, the Meatleys just says, well, I'm going to have to talk it over with the board. Like, he's trying to be very professional about things. And he's like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. You're Alice Angel. I was like, what? He's like, congratulations, you're Alice Angel. And he said, I have to tell you, I was so worried about finding a voice actress because I had hundreds of people send in auditions and I was not finding what I wanted. This is exactly what I want. And that made me feel so good.
Yeah.
And mad at my husband again, because it's like, he was
Yeah, he was right.
I had to eat crow and you're right. And that was like the best advice you've ever given.
Yeah, it was the best thing that actually happened to you.
And then from there, I mean, that was, I had asked the Meatley, I said, so, thank you so much. I'm really excited about this. And I said, so it says on the poster, she sings, she dances. And I was like, you don't want me to dance. And I said, but I do sing. And he goes, you sing? I was like, yeah, it's actually what I went to school for. And again, he's trying to cool himself down a little bit, but he's very excited.
Yeah.
And I said, so, do you have a song for her? Is there anything that you have like written that you want me to hear? And he's like, well, I was kind of thinking of like something along the lines of like Pop Goes the Weasel for like, her show, like for her show. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, well, can I try writing a song for her? He's like, you want to write a song for Alice Angel? I said, I would love to. So I did. And I shared it. 2 weeks. I didn't hear anything after I sent him just the vocal melody and the lyrics. I didn't hear anything. We had another meeting. And in the meeting, he tells me, I asked him, I was like, so did you have a chance to listen to the song? I know you've been really swamped. And he said, I haven't had a chance. Hold on a minute. And I'll show you what he did. Now, I wasn't looking at him on video. We were just talking, but he said, let me get my cans. And he does this. With me on the phone. So I mute and I'm shrieking because he's listening. To my song while I'm on the line with him. And he loved it. And I went into the studio with all these musicians. We recorded it live. I've never written a song like a 1930s jazz song before, like in the style of Cole Porter. I've sung it before and I have a love and appreciation because of my grandmother. But I personally have never even attempted anything like this. And it was the most challenging and rewarding thing I've ever done. It was just the day in that studio was magic. And, it was wild. Like I got to, not only was I singing, I had to, my producer worked with Madonna and Sondheim on the Dick Tracy soundtrack.
Yeah.
And he's phenomenal. I'm actually, we just wrapped up a project, which, I'd love to talk about later, but, he was my audio wizard for the song as well as my audio wizard for this project. And he told me, that because he said, like, I want to record this the way that it was done back in the day, where you have the singer and the band, the rhythm section all together recording. He's like, but we'll have each sound separated so we can still like make edits and you can choose the takes you like. I said, that sounds good. And he's like, and you're going to direct them while you sing. I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me, what? You want me to do what? I want you to direct while you sing. And I was like, I've never done that before. Patrick, I don't know what I'm doing. And he said, well, I said, I'm terrified. I didn't even know this was going to happen. And he's like, I understand. And he's like, well, let me tell you a little story. Madonna, when she was brought in to do Breathless Mahoney on the Dick Tracy soundtrack, had never sung in the 1930s jazz style before, ever. And she was very nervous about taking on these songs. And Sondheim told her, like, look, whether we have to do it 20, 30, 40, 50 times, whatever it takes, we're just going to run it until we get it right. And they did 20, 30, 40, 50 takes, whatever it took to get it right. And Madonna was terrified. And Patrick said, so if Madonna can be terrified, so can you.
That's great.
And we did. We recorded it. It was terrifying and thrilling. It was just, and those musicians, I have to say, Andrew Carroll was my pianist. He's phenomenal. Josh DeCaney on percussion and Joey Arcuri on bass. These musicians are so unbelievably talented. Jessica Wilby was on harp. And, just again, phenomenal job. They brought this music to life in a way that I never could because I'm not an expert in that particular instrument.
Yeah.
So I let the musicians do what they do best and take my ideas and make them tenfold better than what I could ever do on my own.
Yeah, that's great. That's incredible.
So that's, and I was going to talk about Allison. That's right.
Yeah.
That's up to music.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm like all over the place.
No,
this is the story. I mean, this is the wild story of my involvement.
This is Alice Angel's story or Alice and Allison's story, or they are...
We're getting into Allison's story.
Okay.
So I promise we're done with Alice Angel's story.
Okay.
So
okay.
You've heard enough about Allison. Let's talk about Allison.
Okay, let's hear about Allison.
We're going to talk about Allison. Okay. So, I had an idea that I wanted to pass by the Meatly. And so we're going a little bit more into Alice Angel because of the song. I was hoping that we could do a boss fight where, Henry fights Alice Angel. I had this wild idea of he's fighting Alice Angel, but she's too quick to catch. So, in the boss fight, you have to run around and collect film reels, which are the reels to her animation for her song, Lonely Angel, I'll Be Your Angel. And you have to piece it together. And when you get a piece together, you project it onto the screen in a theater. You're fighting her in a theater. You project it onto the screen and she stops. It's like the first time that she actually stops because she gets caught up in the nostalgia of her in her glory days. And that's when Henry can attack her. And then each time it's like you have to go through and find more pieces of film until you have the whole thing put together. And then you can defeat her.
I'm sorry, can I say something? Can I ask a little question? This is, you're telling me this is like an early version of the Chapter 4 final fight?
No. Chapter 4's final fight was the one against Borg. Was the Frankenborg.
Yeah, but
actually it's closer to the final fight with Bendy. You have to find the final reel.
Yeah, but you're telling me about Chapter 5.
That was Chapter 5.
Oh, I thought that it was Chapter 4.
No, Chapter 4 is the one where you have to fight Frankenborg.
Yeah, but that was actually first appearance of Allison Angel, so I thought you were telling me something.
Oh, for Allison, no. I'm rewinding. This is actually how Allison came to be. This was an idea for an Alice Angel boss fight before we even knew. This was still when we were in Chapter 3. Like we had no idea where this thing was going to go.
Okay.
Well, at least I didn't. I'm sure the Meatly had a plan, but I didn't. And he loved the idea, but he said, and he was like, I love this. I'm going to have to think about this and figure out if there's a way we can make this happen. So he came back to me and he said, okay, I'm going to have to break your heart, but I feel really bad and I have something for you. I was just like, what? What are you going to do? So he tells me we're not going to do the Alice Angel boss fight. And I was really sad. And he said, the reason why is because it takes away from Bendy being the final boss.
Okay. All right.
He's right. I mean, it would have been so cool. It would have been so fun.
Yeah.
If Alice ever does get her own game, maybe that could be the boss fight for the.
Yeah, it will be great. It will be great. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then he said, but I have something for you. I was like, what's that? I was all pouty. I was like, fine, I understand what you have.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a new character for you. And that character was Allison. And he said, everybody wanted a good angel and a bad angel. So I want you to do the good angel too. And that's Allison. And so when we talked about her, I said, I identify with this character. Like if personally going to be any of the angels, like she's the one I would be. And I said, and I hear her having like, kind of like Henry, that world weary, just kind of talking down here, it's me without my morning coffee. She's just tired and world weary, but she's a good person.
Yeah.
And that's where the voice came from. That one was easy. That was so much easier than Alice Angel because it was just like, it's just me without my morning coffee.
That was great. That is really Well, now the third question is
yeah, I know you have more questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna cut them, so it's okay. Don't worry about the time. I would love to hear your story about Bendy and the Ink Machine, but not just how you become Alice Angel, but your involvement in all the Bendy projects.
Okay, gotcha. This one's a little bit easier, and I wrote it down, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit and read it because there's a lot.
It's okay.
So you can probably see me, I'm like scooting my laptop.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
As I had talked about I had co-created Alice Angel in terms of voice, personality with the Meatly all the way back in May of 2017. That's where it all started. And because the company was so small, I offered to help wherever I was needed. So whether that was creative development for a story or characters, script writing and editing, even bringing in other actors through Lonnie Manella and her casting agency, Audio Gods, Inc., which led to scheduling, coordinating, and managing talent. And I was there for him as well. We did not anticipate the success that Bendy was going to become. It was explosive and none of us saw it coming, especially as fast as it came. Yeah. So, just being there for him when the world is literally exploding. Yeah. It was wild. And, So that's kind of where it all started. And because I was the Meatly's right hand, that led to me becoming the voice director for Boris and the Dark Survival, which, as you know, is now a Bendy Lone Wolf. A Bendy Lone Wolf is Boris and the Dark Survival with additional content. So for those of you who might not know that. And at the time when Bendy first started, a lot of people know this, but not everybody. The company was only 2 people. It was the Meatly, who was he was the creative, and Mike Mood, who was the programmer. And that was it. When the company first started, that was it. And what started as an environmental test for something completely different turned into a game, because when they released it, people were so many people, thousands of people were clamoring for more. So they gave them more. And then in 2019, the Meatly had asked me to be the voice director for Bendy and the Dark Revival, which is the sequel. Again, I'm not sure like how many people, most people know this, but again, I don't want to just assume. Yeah, so that's why I'm sharing the whole story. But yeah, it was that Dark Revival is the sequel to Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I started off as the voice director, but I ended up running the entire voiceover department for Joey Drew Studios. And I helped with script edits, scheduling, coordinating and managing talent, coordinating casting with audio gods, directing voiceover sessions with all of the actors, and of course, returning to voice my characters, Alice Angel and Allison. And then I also wrote, performed, and produced a song for Allison. And I don't know how many people know that it really is Allison's song, is Come What May.
Come what may, I'm watching over you. When darkness comes closing in, I'll turn that black sky to blue. I'll always guide you, protect you. I'll never forsake you. You know my heart is always true. So no matter the odds.
Which was used in Bendy and the Dark Revival under a temporary exclusivity license, like a synchronization license. Yes. In the same way that Lonely Angel, I'll Be Your Angel was Alice Angel's song.
I'll be your angel, sent from heaven above, a little angel, cast down for you to love. I'll be your angel, you fit me just like a glove. So won't you say a prayer to me, baby?
In Bendy and the Ink Machine. And it is because of my experiences working on these Bendy projects that I was able to launch my own audio production house, which is called The Voice Sphere. I launched it in 2020. And the whole idea behind it is that it's an audio production house that can help other indie creatives with their projects. A lot of times and I was surprised by this, but I found that a lot of times visual creatives have they are completely out of their depth when it comes to the audio side of things. Yeah. And they really need someone that can help guide them. And, so I've done that for a number of indie creatives, and I've worked on some really cool projects.
That's cool. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, so now let's start with the fun questions. You want it?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go with the first question. This one asked by Natanuran. What is your favorite Alice dialogue lines, and how long do you plan to keep voicing Alice Angel?
Okay, hold on. Alice Angel lines. Okay, I do have them memorized because I've said them so many times. However, I don't trust myself to just go off script for those, so I wanted to write them down to make sure I got them right. Okay, it's Nata Natural, is that right? Okay, yes. So first and foremost, thank you, Nata Natural. And, I mean, everyone here celebrating and honoring and just spending time with us in this incredible virtual space. Thank you so much for your love and your support, for being a Bendy fan and for being just such a wonderful part of our community. Whether you've been here since the beginning back in 2017, or which was when Bendy first came to life, or you're just discovering Bendy now, you're all part of the Bendy fam. And as far as I'm concerned, and the only thing is I have one stipulation is that, if you could do this gal an eensy, weensy little favor first. I couldn't help myself. Follow what I call the Cinderella philosophy. This is something that when I had seen the Cinderella movie, I'm like, I'm adopting this and I'm using this in my socials. And the Cinderella philosophy is very simple. Have courage, be kind. That's really all there is to it. The world really needs that now more than ever. And, create and share your creations with the world. Inspire other people, support each other, be the example for the world to follow. Inspire the next generation of artists and creatives and storytellers and humans. You do that and you're in the Bendy fan for life as far as I'm concerned. You are eternal honorary angels.
That's cool. Right. So
now you wanted me to answer the question about the quotes. So, do you want me to go ahead and do some quotes for you?
Sure.
So, and you said Nata Natural, like they had the most likes for their question. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It is one that I get asked a lot, and you would think by now that I would have a list of like my favorite quotes, but no. But you have inspired me, and here it is. I actually do have it now. One moment, and I'm going to read some lines for you.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay. I'm going to back off a little bit. I'm Allison Angel. Rah! That's one. I see you there. A new fly in my endless web. Come along now. Let's see if you're worthy to walk with angels. There's another. You're so interesting. So different. I have to say, I'm an instant fan. Looks like you've got a date with an angel. You're getting all of them. Okay. Come on. Step out of your cage. There's a whole twisted world out here. Yeah, this is a good one. This is an exchange, but it's a good one. Okay, it's going to require I better take another drink.
Okay.
Do you know what it's like? Living in the dark puddles? It's a buzzing, screaming well of voices. Bits of your mind, swimming like fish in a bowl. The first time I was pulled from its inky womb, I was a wiggling, pussing, shapeless slug. The second time, it made me an angel. Have you ever wondered what heaven is like? I like to dream, and it's quite beautiful. A soft valley of green grass, blanketed by a warm sun. I don't think I'll ever get to see it. Are you ready to ascend, my little errand boy? The heavens are waiting. It's so sad.
That's so cool.
It's really like the only time you really hear the angel voice the whole way. Like it's like right before you don't hear it anymore. So it's a powerful moment. I love the end of chapter 3.
It was so peak in that moment.
Yes, it was. So, and then I have a line from chapter 4 that I have to do. So let's see. And now, The ride truly begins, Henry. Come in and pretend it's all just a bad dream.
That's cool. That's cool.
And then for Dark Revival, okay, here's another good one. I love this one, and I had so much fun doing it. This is to Audrey. This is when Alice Angel has her tied to the electric chair.
Yeah.
And this is the puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like the introduction to Alice Angel with Dark Revival and Audrey.
In chapter 5,
Okay.
right?
No, this is Dark Revival.
Yeah, but Dark Revival chapter 5 was first introduction of Alice Angel.
I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's funny because it released all as one game, so I don't think of it in chapters.
It's difficult to remember.
But no, that's a good point. It probably was chapter 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Classic Alice. Right to the chase. I like that. The truth is, honey, you're one of a kind. And to put it bluntly, what I want is your face removed, your skin peeled away like paper, and your insides torn out and tossed onto my table. Ready for my delicious harvest. And with your generous sacrifice, I'll be beautiful.
That's cool. That's cool.
I like that one.
That's cool.
It's a good one.
It's actually, that song is actually here, right? Is this song? The puzzle one. Where Alice Angel was introduced in chapter 5.
Yes, I think you're right.
Where the electric chair is. I think here was Alice Angel sitting.
Because Audrey drinks the stuff, and then Alice appears in the mirror and says "nighty night."
Yeah.
And then when she wakes up, she's in the chair.
Yeah, it's actually this chair. This right here.
Yes, that's the chair.
That's exactly the chair.
Where is the Queen's throne though? Where's the Queen's throne?
It's here. It's this one. This one.
Yes.
This is the Queen's chair. And
it's a little tiny image in the screen. And so thank you. I know I remembered seeing it when you showed me this incredible backdrop, but I have to just take a minute and just say, wow, you have just rolled out the red carpet, you and your community. I'm so blown away by the art that you've created for.
Hi.
I'm all decked out. Yeah. So, we lost connection, and I figured while we had lost connection, I would, go more Alice on you here with the hair down and with my, my lovely horn halo combination, courtesy of my dear friend Kent. Kent, I love it. And you're the best. Okay. So going back to this, where was I? Okay. And the ride. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll be beautiful. Yeah. At least we got through the speech. We got through it. We did do that.
Yes.
So then we have a line way later on, toward the end of Alice's section. Final curtain, baby. Let's blow them away. And then, let's see. Oh, a couple original bonus quotes that have yet to be part of the game. These were ones that I came up with that I was just like, I would love to get in there. And, it's funny because, my grandmother used to call me Angel. My friends were like, you might act like an angel, but there's horns underneath the halo. And so this has kind of always been a thing for me. This whole like angel devil thing, I guess, has been part of me, I guess, since, I was a child. Because I was a naughty kid, but I was a sweet kid. So, I was a devil angel. It was just meant to be. So one of the lines I would love to have as a tagline for Alice, and it hasn't made it into the game yet, but I love it, is, "What? Hold up the halo." And then the other one is actually a line that, this is like an old quote that my grandmother used to say is, let's see. And this is definitely, the two of them, the two voices. "A little paint and powder hide a multitude of sins." I thought that was a cool quote. Isn't that a good one?
Yeah.
It's really good for Alice. So those are all the Alice Angel lines that I had, including my original ones that I wanted to share. But, again, gotta represent Allison here. Gotta show some love to Allison. So I promise it's not as long. Alice has all the juicy lines, but Allison has some good ones too. She does. And we have to honor her lines too. So, for Ink Machine, I have, let's see. I honestly don't know my name. So they call me Alice, but I'm no angel. And then technically not a line in the game, but it is a line in merch. And it's kind of become her tagline. There's always hope.
Do you remember the scene in almost before the final fight in Chapter 5 from Bendy and the Ink Machine, where Henry, Allison, and Tom find the giant ink machine?
The big ink, and like the ocean of ink at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought it was in there too, but she says something different.
Oh.
And I know, I thought it was too. And I'm like, no, that's not it. So, I don't think she actually says it in game, which is crazy. It's like a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's another line. And then my favorite line of all is, it pays to carry a rope. You should try it. I love that line.
Cool.
It is so funny. It's
cool.
it's so sassy. It's just so good. I love that line.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder, like, why is she running around with this rope? And she actually addresses it. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And then for Dark Revival, I have just a couple lines here, where she's talking to Audrey when she first meets Audrey. I think it's her first line, actually. I wouldn't drink too much of that if I were you. It helps patch you up, but the aftertaste, it's not so good. I do like that line.
Oh.
And then let's see. When she takes the Tommy gun.
Oh, yeah.
Mind if I take this?
That was cool. That was so cool.
I was not expecting that. Like, I didn't realize, like, to have that. And when I saw that was going to be one of the lines she said, I was rolling. I thought that was hilarious. And then just as a bonus, this is again bonus. It's not original. Well, actually, it is one that I came up with, but it was used in the Bendy Royale April Fool's trailer.
Yeah.
Where she goes, I'm not the healer.
I remember that, yeah.
Because you always have, like, you know, the good female character 9 times out of 10 is the healer. And so I just wanted to make fun of that a little bit, especially in an April Fool's trailer.
Yeah, that was so cool. Man, I really thought that game was actually real. But I remember, it was super cool.
Everyone was so upset. I felt terrible. I'm like, this is the meanest April Fool.
Yeah.
So mean. Like, you guys. Everybody wants this game. You need to create Bendy Royale before you do these other projects, because everyone's waiting.
Maybe Bendy Silent City is kind of like our Bendy Royale thing, because have you seen the leaked prototype?
I think I have. I think I have, but
have you seen that? I mean, it was kind of after the release of Dark Revival, when the Midley accidentally uploaded a gameplay from the Silent City to YouTube. And it was like a first-person game. Like, have you know the new shooter that is coming out? I think it's this year, Mouse.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I'm not like I haven't like followed it too closely, but I have heard of it.
Well, it's almost the same thing. The atmosphere is not the classic yellow black colors. This time it's black and white colors. It's this time for mature audience. This game is what it was promoted in Secrets of the Machine.
Yes.
And it's almost like a Bendy Royale, because the main character has 2 guns in the hands. I think it's like I don't know.
I wonder if it, like, how, like, maybe they took ideas from that and they're using it for this. I don't know.
But
interesting.
In all the teasers, we don't see anything from Bendy or other characters.
Yeah.
Besides, in one of the official teasers that come from Secrets of the Machine, it was a character that was grabbing a gun, and the gun says Alice 2 it has the Allison Angel's name. So it's the first clue that we have that the main characters are going to appear in this game.
But so maybe the main character just has her guns. I don't know.
I don't know. Interesting. But let me see if I can look. I don't know if you can rate it right here. It says Alice and the number 2. Wait.
Yeah.
Alice and the number 2. Wait.
You know what's weird is it looks like it's going invisible. Like in your hand, it's like flat. Like I guess maybe it's like trying to like cancel out the video or something. It's very weird. Yeah. It's like. Oh, yep, I see it.
Yeah, it says Alice and number 2.
And number 2.
Yeah.
Huh.
We don't know that.
Wow. I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry for
I finished all the quotes. I did all the quotes, so, I wanted to especially since Nata Natural got the most votes, I figured I'll share all my quotes and you can share whatever you like.
Well, let's go with the second question.
Sure.
This one is asked by Victor Torres.
Okay.
How did you discover? Well, you already answered this question.
Oh, is it how did I discover Bendy? My nephew Lily.
Yeah. Well,
it's a good question, and there's the unabridged answer. Earlier on in this interview.
Yeah.
Rewind back, Victor. Rewind back, and you'll be able to hear the unabridged version.
Oh, yeah. Well, you already answered this question, so let's go with the next one.
Boom, next.
This one is asked by El Pana Boris in English, which means the booty Boris. Have you ever felt identified with Allison Angel? And besides Alice, who is your favorite character from Bendy and the Ink Machine and Dark Rabbi?
Oh, that's hard. It's so hard. Okay, so the first question is actually very easy. Yes, I have definitely identified with Allison Angel. Some of the experiences, like her being replaced by Allison, Susie being replaced by Allison, was what happened to me with that project I told you about. And has happened to me before with other projects that I have not talked about. So yes, I definitely, in terms of, feeling that betrayal, feeling this wonderful thing that you have taken from you and given to someone else, there's no feeling to me that's worse than that. You've earned this thing, you've earned this opportunity, and then to have it taken from you is just a cruel and unusual punishment like nothing else. So yes, I definitely have identified with Alice, but that does not mean that I have gone around taking people's hearts or cutting them up to make myself.
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, the next question.
Yeah.
No. The next one from there. Which is your favorite character?
Oh,
besides Alexander.
Okay, my favorite character. This is so hard. Okay, again, this is really hard for me, and I'm gonna give multiple answers with different reasons as to why. I love the Ink Demon. I think there is just nothing like the Ink Demon out there in a video game. Sean Crisden, that voice is unbelievable. And just a quick story about Sean. So when he had auditioned, there must have been 80 people that had auditioned for the Ink Demon, and no one sounded like Sean. Nobody. So I was asked to do a callback. So I called him back and I said, we really loved what you did, but can you take the processing off the voice? And he seemed confused. He's like, processing? It's like, well, yeah, because, you had like an effect on the voice. My camera's kind of sliding. Hold on a second. There we go.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. The halo can be crooked, but the camera can't.
You still can see everything. It's so cool. Yeah.
Perfect. So I said, can you just give this to me, just the raw audio? He's like, oh, you mean you don't want me to add like any compression or any clean up the audio for you? And he seemed confused. And I was like, well, no, you put the effect on the voice. And he's like, oh no, that's my voice. It's a Tibetan throat singing. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, sometimes you can get like two voices to come out of your voice, like come out of you at once. I'm just like, that was all you. Yeah, that's all Sean. There is no effect on that voice. That is all Sean. The other one I absolutely love. I do love Audrey. I actually auditioned for Audrey.
Oh yeah,
And
actually, the first time I heard Audrey's voice, I thought it was you. I thought it was actually. I don't know if you remember the first gameplay trailer from Dark Revival when nobody know who Audrey was.
Yes.
They were all thinking you were playing as Allison Angel because she was almost the only female character.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And she did. Aaron does have us. We do have similar voices, especially at certain times. Like there's times we sound completely different, but then our vocal range is very similar.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. But yeah, I did audition for Audrey, and immediately like, I'm sorry, you're two other characters.
Yeah.
And I can tell it's you. It's like, I can voice everybody in this game. Let me do the demon, let me do Audrey, let me do the keepers. I'll do everybody. I'll do Wilson. I'll do everyone. I'm kidding. But I really I was like, but I love Audrey. I want to voice Audrey. I was being a brat. So we had to audition, and what Aaron gave us originally, it was more shrill. It was a higher pitch. And, the Meatly's like, I like this. I was like, I like this too. But let's hear if maybe we can bring her down a little bit and just make her a little more grounded and see what kind of performance we can get.
Yeah.
So I did a call back with Aaron, and she, what we talked about it. I told her what we talked about was that Audrey is in your heart. She's in your chest. She's in your heart space. So she's not up here in your head. She's in your heart space. And telling her that just absolutely clicked in her brain. And then she gets that nice warm delivery. And it's perfect. And then there was that whole ending scene for the audition where Audrey drowns in the ink. And Aaron says, oh, hold on a minute. I'm going to go drown myself. Let me get a bowl. I'm like, you're going to do what? So she goes and grabs a bowl of water, and she puts newspapers all over the floor. And she's putting her face in the bowl of water, screaming. And she's like, and I'm just like, oh she's drowning her. I told them, I said, she's drowning herself for you, for her audition. You have to give this girl the part. She drowned for you. And so, I mean, the dedication, that's doing it again. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. The dedication and just the passion that the actors have, Lonnie and Lonnie Manella, who is she was the casting director, her studio Audio Gods, is the one that did the casting. And we worked very closely together. We're very good friends. We're family. We're family. And she's the first keeper. And I remember she had all these ideas, and it's so rare that we get to be creative with our characters and take ownership of our characters. And she said, I did Skyrim and I was the Night Mother. And she's calling me, she's driving. She's calling me while she's in the car. And she's like, I did the Night Mother for Skyrim, and maybe this is a place we can start. And she started doing the voice for the Keeper. And she's like, and maybe because they're like these machines, maybe it's almost like a radio frequency where the voice goes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that is the coolest thing ever. and then we talked about, I said, because they have the gears, and the gears are kind of doing the sticking thing. If you look at the animation for them. And I said, what if we click the consonants, almost like the gears are getting stuck?
Yeah.
So she added that, and with her Night Mother and this radio frequency thing, and there you go. Those were the keepers. It was just unbelievable. And then, same thing with Heidi. Again, I auditioned for Heidi, and I saw, I thought Moaning Myrtle. I was like, Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter, oh, I definitely hear that kind of delivery for her. She talks up here. Yeah, I definitely heard that. And the Meatly's like, no, Lauren. I'm like, what? Why? He's like, because I can tell it's you. So I was like, okay, Lonnie, do what I just did and do the Moaning Myrtle thing, and you got the part. So
that's so cool. I didn't know you were you auditioned for Heidi too. I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Oh, I did. I auditioned for Heidi as well. I know.
Well,
but you know what? It went to the right person, and my camera just sorry. It's you.
It's okay.
Stay. Okay. So, so that's the story. Was there any more part of that? Any other part of that question that I Any other part of that question that I needed to cover?
No. That's the end
Again, I
question.
can't say who's my favorite. I love them all. And I definitely know without a doubt that those characters went to the right people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, let's go to the next question then. This one is asked by the FNAF site YouTube. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. In which game did you enjoy participating more? Bendy and the Ink Machine or Dark Revival?
Again, this is hard. In terms of being creative, Ink Machine. Because of how much ownership I had in co-creating Allison Angel with the Meatly and being part of the creative process and sharing ideas and brainstorming all this creativity. I love that. But being asked to direct Dark Revival and working and directing this unbelievably talented group of unbelievable human beings. I love them both for different reasons. I know it feels like a cop-out, and I'm sorry, but it's true. I love them both for different reasons. It was such a great honor for me to get to direct Dark Revival with these people, to collaborate, because it was a collaboration. You know, my directing experience comes from the music world, where I want artists to be artists. I bring artists in because they're the experts in their instrument. And I want them to bring it. I want them to feel like they have ownership and can get creative with what they're doing and what they're creating. And that was the same approach I took with this. It's like, okay, give me 3 takes. You earned this opportunity. You auditioned and you got this part. This is your show. I'm here to just listen. And if I have other ideas, it's not that anything you did was wrong. It's just, let's try something different. Maybe there's an alternative. And that's what we did. And it would just play, and I call it throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks.
That's so cool. So you choose both.
Yeah, I
That's
choose
cool.
both.
Yeah, that's a valid answer. Okay, now let's go with the next question. This one is asked by El Taquito. What a name, bro.
I love it.
Yeah.
Muy bueno.
What do you think about the medley and Mike Mood? And what was your first impression when you saw Bendy and the Ink Machine?
Okay, well, we covered Bendy and the Ink Machine in my first impression. The only person I can really speak to is the Meatly. I really haven't had much interaction with anyone else, except for Ben Lacroix. I did have interaction with Ben Lacroix from Dark Revival because Ben was the one that did the animation for Alice. So he had reached out to me, and there goes the camera. Sorry. Okay, there. Stop. Okay. So he had reached out to me because he was really excited to tell me that how much fun he had listening to my takes and animating to my voice. It was so special to have that conversation with him. And the Meatly and I we have a great rapport. I adore the Meatly. I adore working with him. I just think the world of him and his creativity. And he is what you see online. That's who he is. I mean, you know, it's just who he is. And so other than that, I really haven't had interaction with anyone else, at Joey Drew Studios or Kindly Beast. That's it.
That's cool. Well, so now let's go with the next question right here.
Sure.
This one is asked by Blebly. What was the most difficult part about portraying such a mentally unstable character like Allison Angel?
Oh, there's nothing. Honestly, that's not difficult. It is so cathartic, and it is so fun to just take whatever poison and pain and rage you're feeling and putting it into a character and just going all in like that. It's delightful. It's such a stress reliever, honestly. Because, life can be difficult sometimes, and to be able to just take that emotion and put it into something productive and something creative and artistic is just so fun.
That's so cool.
The villains are always the best. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's still
they're the best.
They are fun to make,
Definitely.
Let's go with the next question.
Next question.
The next and the last one.
Oh, okay.
This one is asked by Alele Moon.
Okay.
Will you voice any other character in Bendy besides Allison Angel and Allison?
Well, I tried.
Well, so
I tried, and the Mutely was not having it. So if you want me to voice other characters, then put it out there. He hears you. Put it out there.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna give voice to another character.
One woman show of Bendy and the Ink Machine. Okay, I will, but he's not gonna let me.
Well, it's okay. I'm pretty sure you're gonna give another character to. You're gonna voice another character in the future.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, in the whole games, I think they are 2-3 women characters. No,
Yeah.
4.
So
Allison,
there's
Alice, Heidi, Audrey.
Alice, Allison, Heidi, Audrey, and then there's also the Butcher Gang, the female Butcher Gang character.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really talk.
She doesn't talk anything in the game.
But then you have also the audio recordings too that you pick up around the studio. There's women there as well.
Oh yeah. Well, but you're gonna voice another character. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Okay, so we're done with the fun questions by now.
Aww, fun's over?
Yeah.
No. The whole thing has been fun. This has been such a delight. Thank you for having me, and thank you, BCC community, for just being so welcoming and kind. And I was talking about it before we cut out, but I am blown away by this background.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Oh, it's just so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So tell me who did that?
I don't know if I think you saw that in Twitter when
I did. I'm so sorry. I remember saying, "Can I want this in my house?"
Yeah.
I said, "You can have it." And I was so excited, and now I'm in it.
Yeah,
Can I live here? I just want to live here.
He's a good friend of mine. He actually made my intro for my videos, the Joey Dress Studio style. He made it for me, the Bendy content creator intro right now.
Very cool. So if you give me his name, I'd love to give it.
Yeah, his name is Aitor Games.
Aitor Games?
Aitor Games.
Yes. Aitor Games. Thank you. Aitor Games. It is amazing. I love it. And thank you again for just this beautiful artwork, and for just making me feel so you've rolled out the red carpet in a way that I'm not used to. This is really great. Thank you. And to you, BCC, to you as well, for making me feel so welcome, and to be able to have this lovely chat.
It's okay. No, thank you to you. Okay, so now let's go with the next part.
Sure.
Of course, we know you for not only the voices of the angels, but for their songs too. Lonely Angel is Alice Angel's song in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and Come With Me from Allison in Bendy and the Dark Revival. But you're also working on a catalog of original music for use in movie, TV, and also video game soundtracks. And we're kind enough to share to us your first original song, Snake.
From my paradise, what we do to seek the truth. I bit the poison apple. I lose myself in your embrace and bid reality goodbye. I try to scream but make no sound as I'm watching myself die.
Yes.
So
it's one that I had written a while ago, and finally got the team together to record it. It was a very last minute decision. It was actually premiered for another interview. And they said, if you can get the song together, we'll do a music video for you, and we'll just do it for fun. And I was just like, really? So it was just so nice that they wanted to do that for me. And it didn't work out, but just the thought of it was just really cool.
Yeah.
And it got me to actually jump in the studio and like wrangle everyone together and do it. So it was a good excuse to lay down the track and then finally to release it to the world. So I'm really happy with how it came out. Josh DeCaney, who worked with me on Lonely Angel, I'll Be Your Angel. He was the percussionist for I'll Be Your Angel. And Andrew Carroll, the same pianist that worked with me on all the other Bendy songs. They did such a good job. But Josh started to share with me, because I wanted either like an African style percussion, and he said, well, Brazilian style percussion is very similar. Come to my house. I have all the instruments there. Let's listen to some sounds and see what you like. And what we ended up doing was creating loops out of different types of Brazilian percussion. So it was so cool to see him just like lay down like a little piece of song, because the song, it really is a loop. So we basically, yes, they're loops, but they're music loops that we created. So they are, of that actual instrument created in the studio by us, for the different percussive sounds, and then piano, and then the vocals. So that was really cool. That was I wrote that song in college, if you can believe that. It's actually based on an experience of a not so wonderful person in college. And, the idea of just being manipulated and kind of losing yourself in that manipulation. Like, it's happening. You're not blind to it. You're just not doing anything to stop it. And, it's like you kind of delude yourself into believing that it's real, but it's not. So yeah, it was based off a personal experience, and, it was really cool to just get it out into the world. We'll see. Maybe it'll be picked up by a movie or TV series. That would be incredible.
That will be huge. Literally, that will be huge.
That's like the best artistic revenge ever. And not that this person even knows that this song is written. And I'm never going to name like, who is that about? No, they're not going to get that, because that gives them power that I'm not willing to give them. I'm not going to give them that notoriety or that power.
Are you will be happy to participate to make the soundtrack, I don't know, for movies like the sequel for, I don't know, Five Nights at Freddy's movie, or the Puppy Playtime movie, or even the Bendy and Ink Machine movie? Would you like to participate in the soundtrack for that?
You better believe it. I want Lonely Angel in that soundtrack. In a perfect world, Alice Angel would be a cartoon on the screen. That's what all the fans have been talking about, is going with like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit approach, which I think would be incredible. And then you have the cartoon characters on the screen, and then when they go into their monster form, you either do practical effects and puppetry in combination maybe with CG. Just doing something that like no one's ever seen before. I've seen some really cool ideas online. I'm like, yes, that. Yes. And they're like, get the cast to do the voices of their characters. It's like, yes, please. We would love to. But I'm also realistic. It's Hollywood, and they're probably going to get celebrities to do the voices of the characters. So in a perfect world, if we go that direction, what I would love is to do the humming, because it's my song. That's the song I wrote. That's Lonely Angel.
Yeah. That's iconic. That's so iconic.
I want to stalk Henry through the halls and singing that song.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I would love to get it as for the end credits and on the soundtrack. Like, that would be a dream come true for me. And everyone has been saying, your song has to be in there. It's like, please. So
yeah, your song and the Dia game song, there have to be in the Bendy movie. They are so iconic in the franchise that there have to be in there. So, do you have any upcoming projects regarding your music that you can share with us?
So actually, I can't talk about it yet. But what I can say is that I had songs that I wrote in 2010. Ages ago. I wrote a bunch of songs with this guitarist, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. But we signed a universal agreement to take the music and go our own separate ways with the songs that we co-created.
Yeah.
And I worked on this music. I actually got together with some friends of mine that have their band, and we worked on, restructuring the songs. But the problem was trying to get a band together and a schedule together to accommodate that many people was really challenging. So the music went back onto the shelf and was collecting dust for many more years. Very recently, I was introduced to a music producer, and he listened to my songs and he loved them. And we are going to collaborate together.
That's so cool.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting. I think there's going to be 7 songs that we're going to do together. That's what I'm looking at right now. 7 songs.
Yo, that's so cool. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations.
It's like when he told me how much he loved my music, and I was in tears. It meant everything to me because those songs are very special to me. And I couldn't bring myself to listen to them because I couldn't do anything with them. And now that they finally have a chance, get out there in the world and be heard, it's like, then we're going for synchronization licensing. And then we're going to see if we can get it in a movie or a TV show or a video game. It's like, I've already done the video game thing because of Bendy. So, it's like, I would love to take this original music and find a home for it out there in the world.
That's so cool. Seriously, Lauren, congratulations about this big opportunity.
Thank you. Oh, it's exciting. I can't talk about all the things yet, but it is so exciting, and I can't wait to share.
I'm pretty sure that all the community is going to support you about this. I mean, the Spanish community still listens to your music. The English community, even, they are listening to your music every day. I see that. I mean, they're going to support you. Whenever you are, they're going to support you.
And that means the world to me, you guys. It really, that means the world to me. I understand, that Bendy is very special, but what was amazing, and it's interesting that you say that, because I had been off Twitter for a while. Sadly, I had a friend pass at the beginning of July. And I was off Twitter for a long time. It's been a tough time. And, when I went back on, because Lone Wolf was coming out and everybody was very excited, and I wanted to be part of that excitement and promote it and support it and share the love, all that good stuff. What surprised me was, yes, people were like, oh, we're so excited about you coming back for Lone Wolf and can't wait to hear it, blah, blah, blah. And then when the game came out, where's your song? It's like, what? They're like, where is your song in Lone Wolf? And I'm just like, I didn't do one for Lone Wolf. But that's because we did Boris and the Dark Survival back in 2018. So 2019, it was when the game released. 2018, 2019, somewhere in there.
Dark Survival first time was released in February 9 or February 10 of 2020. In 2020.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Dark. The Boris and the Dark Survival. The original version of
it was released in 2020.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember when it released, but I had worked on it back in 2018, 2019 in that time frame. And then it was everything was all systems go with Dark Revival. That's when we started Dark Revival. And I was busy working on Come What May because I wanted Allison to have a song in Dark Revival.
That's so cool.
So that's why it wasn't in there. But I was so touched that people wanted to hear my music. And so I decided to, at the very last minute decision, I created a music showcase this year. And I decided I was going to make it public and share it with everyone. And I premiered it on YouTube, and I had a bunch of the fans follow me over onto YouTube, and they asked questions. I answered their questions. We talked about the music. I gave them behind the scenes information. It was so fun. So, if that's something that you can link, so people can check it out, please, if they put it in the description or link it somewhere.
Yeah, all the links are going to be in the description. So if everyone wants to support Lauren, please go to check all the links in the description because they are so special.
There's going to be a lot.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Her music, all her stuff, it's going to be just great. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The question was if you're going to participate in another game.
Oh, You mean like if I'm working on any upcoming projects?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, and you mean outside of Bendy or with Bendy or
without Bendy? Let's left the Bendy outside.
I work on quite a few projects outside of Bendy. And the most recent one, which I am so excited to share, and I'm thrilled that the game creator has agreed to let me premiere the trailer for this game, is a game called Fractured Worlds. It's available on Steam. Early access is coming out, I think, in September. Don't quote me on that, but I think that the goal is September. As long as everything goes smoothly, it should be in September. We actually wrapped the entire script, all the directed sessions. So I cast it, I directed it, and I voiced characters in it. And this was all through my audio production house, the Voice Sphere. And it could not have gone smoother. My audio producer, Patrick, that worked with me on the music, worked with me on this too. And this is the biggest project we've ever done. He's probably cursing my name right now as we speak because he's going through so many audio files.
That's so cool.
He's also loving, seriously, I'm kidding. He's really loved this project. And, because of, auditioning these people, I've met more voice actors. The voice actors that I worked with in Bendy are very special. We're very close. We're good friends. And it's like now I have another circle of friends from the same casting agency, from the same pool. We're all from the same talent pool.
Yeah.
And they're not just amazing talent, some of the best I've ever heard. I mean, these people are incredible. They're some of the nicest people, just good humans. And there's something to be said for that.
That's good to hear. Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, girl.
So I think I sent you the information, the links to share the videos for
I'm going to leave the video game link in the description for Steam, and any other thing you'll like to share, you're going to put in the description so they can support you.
Wonderful. Well, and support Matt.
Yeah, of course.
So Matt is that's Laser Guided Games, and it's just been such a pleasure working with him on this project. I'm so grateful and I'm so honored to be brought in on it. It's just so fun. Do you have a friend?
Someone wants to say hi.
Oh!
It's huge. It's huge.
Hi, spicy baby. Hi.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
It's like, put me down.
Yeah, he's stressed right now. I don't know why. Go to it, bro. Well, he's walking over there. So, talking about animals, I was remember something that people was talking about you about something related to Brute Boris in Bendy Chapter 4.
No.
What do you have to say about that?
Oh, no. They hated me. They hated me because the Meatley decided to make Alice a dog murderer. Everyone was like, you murdered dogs. I got so much crap. So much hate from the community because of what Alice did. It's like they were talking to me like I was Alice and I murdered Boris. It was very upsetting. And, something to understand about me is I am a major animal lover. I have had animals my entire life. They've all been rescues. I am an tremendous animal advocate. And actually, this is very sad. I'm sorry to bring something so sad, but when Chapter 3 of Bendy released, that was the last day that our dog Bailey was with us. We put her to rest the next day. And so it was such a hard time. And the Meatley, he knew about what happened. And so I do think there was a little bit of inspiration there for Henry having to be the one to put Boris down. There was never any conversation about it, but I was feeling it felt a little personal to me. It felt a little personal, especially, and Alice is the dog murderer of all people. Come on.
Yeah, it was kind of sad to lose Boris, yeah.
And I have to tell you, I was dreading it because he gave me a heads up that it was coming, and I'm just like, what is this going to look like? I'm going to be traumatized. I don't even want to see this. And when I saw it, I said, okay, you know what? It was very tastefully done. It wasn't as upsetting as I thought it was going to be. But I was like Envy Angel. I was right there with everyone else. Like, Alice needs to die. Like, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. Well,
but something I did want to mention is, again, I mentioned that I'm a tremendous animal advocate, and I am the vice president we moved to Massachusetts in early 2023. We were living in New York, and we had just had tremendous loss in our lives, with friends, with family. And we needed a fresh start. So we moved to Massachusetts, and our dog Abby, who was Bailey's big little sister, passed away June of last year. She was a beautiful border collie lab mix. She was our little wolf. We just loved her. There's actually, I think I sent you pictures of her howling with her Boris.
Yeah.
This was something we used to do, like, on the streams, and we do a Boris, no, and Abby would howl, and she'd be like, no. It was very funny. So Abby became an icon amongst the fandom because of, the whole tie into Boris. So it was pretty funny. But after losing Abby, I was looking for a way to heal from the loss. And I found a local rescue in Massachusetts called Apache Way Farm. And I met the owner, Lori Matta. I just fell in love with her. We became instant best friends. And I was so impressed that she's been rescuing animals for 37 years. And these are animals that have been neglected, horribly abused. Most of them are farm animals. Most of them are horses, or mini horses specifically. And, her whole mission to take care of these animals and raise awareness. And if you see something, say something, just spoke to me so deeply. And so I have become the vice president and head of community outreach for her rescue. I love the babies there. I'm very good friends with all of them. I love them. She's so incredible how she takes these animals that have gone through these horrific situations and rehabilitates them with love. And if you had met them, you would never know they went through the abuse they went through, because they're so trusting. They're so friendly. Her work is incredible. And one of the things that I wanted to do is, help raise awareness and help raise money, because it takes a lot. It costs a lot to take care of so many animals and to be able to rescue even more. So I've gotten involved. We've gotten grants, and I put together a donation page, because she didn't have a donation page, which we will link in the description. If you want to find out more about Apache Way Farm, and just see the incredible work that's being done there. There's a video, and there's more information and photos. And there is a donation. So if you want to donate, it is greatly appreciated. 100% proceeds go to taking care of the animals and nothing else.
Yeah.
So if you're passionate about animals, it's a great cause. Run by a one-woman warrior.
Yeah, they're all going to have the link in the description to this page, so they can support the animals. They can donate whatever they can support you guys, because that's so kind. I'm also an animals lover. I will do the same thing for them. I know it costs a lot of money to take care of them, but it is worth it. It's worth it.
It's worth it. Well, and especially medical bills are just through the roof. If you have an emergency situation, you've got to take a horse to a hospital. It's a fortune.
Yeah,
it's a fortune.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, that's so kind. So congratulations that you're the president, and so
vice president. I'm the vice president.
Well, there's still an important role.
That's absolutely. I'm the same way I was the Meatley's right hand. I'm Lori's right hand.
That's so cool. You're the Meatley's right hand, and the other one the left hand.
There you go. Yes.
So before the interview ends, you're probably wondering who is the guy from the beginning. So Lauren, our friend, is going to introduce us about these amazing people.
Yeah. His name is Miguel Vasquez. That's what his family called him. And he was known to most of his friends as Mike. They would call him Mike, including myself. And Mike actually started off as a client. He hired me. He had written a zombie book, and he hired me to do the narration for the book. And it was an undertaking, I have to tell you. It was like 30, 40 characters and plus all the narration. And I did the whole thing myself, and I produced it and I edited. I will never do that again, ever. It's too much. Like, I would do the audiobook, but I am not a producer. I don't want to, it's so tedious to have to go and listen to everything after you just recorded it and edit and produce it. No. I'd much rather give that to Patrick and let Patrick do what he does best, because I'm not an expert at it. And I don't want to be. But it was a great project, and he loved it so much. He listened to it all the time. I mean, every day he listened to it. It meant so much to him to have that audio. And we started to talk a little more, and he asked me if I played Dead Island. And I said, no, my husband does. And I've seen him play. I was like, I am not good at first person shooters. You don't want to play with me. You're not going to be alive for very long, because I am not good at first person shooters. And he's like, well, it's not a first person shooter. It's a first person adventure. And I thought I was going to be terrible at it too. But you know what? I actually found out that I was pretty good at it, and I can teach you how to play. I'm like, oh, I'm open to it. Well, yeah, I'm open to it. We'll try. Sure. Why not? So what ended up as something I wasn't entirely sure about became something that, like, as our friendship grew, and it grew very quickly, Mike and I just had a connection. We had a bond that I just never had with anyone else. There's just nothing like it. You know, he was the kind of person that when Bailey died, our dog died, he flew from Florida to take care of my husband and I. Yeah. I had injured myself in 2019. He came to take care of me. And I would do the same for him. So when we were playing Dead Island together, it was like we would kill zombies and conquer the world together. That was the kind of friendship that we had. We talked every day and never fought once for the 8.5 years we were in each other's lives. So fast forward to 2020, he actually had moved to Taiwan to teach English to Taiwanese students. And one of the things that he was doing was introducing the students to Halloween, because it's my favorite holiday. And he's like, you know, because it's Lauren's favorite holiday, it's fast becoming mine. I want to introduce my students to Halloween. Because in Taiwan, they don't celebrate Halloween. They don't really know what Halloween is. So he brought Halloween to his kids. And that was so special. And I helped him come up with ideas. Like, we had such a good time. Like, how are we going to torture these kids? Like, I mean, we were having so much fun. But also just like introducing them to the tradition. And it was just so cool. So amazing. Now I should also mention that I had a lot of mics in my life. And so I had to differentiate my mics. So Miguel Mike was called Zombie Mike because all he wanted to do was read zombie books and play zombie games and zombie all the time. And so I told him, I said, you know, we found this really cool game called Paladins, and I want you to play it. Well, are there zombies in it? No, I'm not playing it. I'm not going to play Paladin. So we threw a controller in his hand. This is when he came to stay with us after we lost Bailey.
Yeah.
We threw a controller in his hand and we're like, you are playing Paladin because you're going to like it. And sure enough, one match, he was hooked. So we still played Dead Island and Dying Light, but we also, like, it was like a nightly tradition to get all of our friends together and play Paladins. And we were not allowed to go out on a loss. That was the Miguel J. Vasquez way. That was boot camp 101. You could not go out on a loss. If you lose 10 games in a row and it's 4:00 in the morning, you are still playing until you win that game. So, it's just, that's how he was. So going back, I just wanted to explain that. So going back to Taiwan, I was about to jump into an interview about Bendy, actually. And we were talking before because he was riding the high. He had just finished with his students, sharing Halloween with them, and he was just on a high. And he said, you know, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna play Paladins. Like, when you're done the interview, you hop on and play with us. It's like, okay, I'll play with you. And then he started telling me that his fever was coming back. And I know that doesn't sound like a tremendous deal, but let me just explain that Mike had myocarditis, which is a condition that causes the inflammation of the heart. Normally it is not fatal. However, he was one of 4 people in the world that had it to the severity level that a common cold could cause his heart to stop beating and kill him instantly. He had gone to the hospital before his show, his Halloween show, and he was discharged. They got he had a fever. They got it down. He was able to do his Halloween thing. As soon as it was over, he was telling me his fever was coming back. And I said, Mike, I love you. Promise me that you are going to go to the hospital. Promise me. He didn't. He went home and played Paladins. I'm sure in his brain he was thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to play a couple rounds and then I'll go to the hospital. So he was playing online with a friend of mine, and they were having a really good match. He was playing Torvald. For those who are Paladins fans, he was playing Torvald.
Yeah.
And Torvald did an ult and knocked all these people off the board. And everyone's cheering, yay, Torvald, yay, Torvald. And Torvald had stopped moving. And our friends were saying, Mike, hey, are you all right? Torvald's not moving. And there was no response. He literally died playing the game.
I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah. I've never been the same since losing Mike. We were the center of each other's worlds. And, it was a very, very tough time. We did a fundraiser, and, because what happened is it was 2020 when he died. So COVID was going strong at that point, and no one in the US, Mike's family lived in Florida, and no one in the US could go to Taiwan because they weren't letting anyone in from the US. They were COVID free. Taiwan was COVID free at the time. His brother was teaching English in Japan, so they were able to let him into the country. And what was supposed to be 2 weeks took over a month for him to process his brother and bring his remains home. And the reason it took so long was because he was only allowed out of quarantine for 2 hours a day, and that was it. It was such a hard time. And, the family, his family didn't have a ton of money, and it was just getting so expensive because of the time he had to spend in Taiwan. So my voice actor friends and I, we all got together and we did the He Dreamed He Could tribute. And, that's actually one of the videos that I shared with you, is the, song For Good from the musical Wicked, because I performed it. The song was haunting me, and I know all the words, and I couldn't bring myself to listen to it. And finally I did, and I bawled my eyes out, and but it was still haunting me. And I'm just like, what do I need to do to get this song out of me? I needed to record it. I needed to perform it. I needed to actually get it out of me physically get it out of me. So I went into the studio and we recorded it. And that's what I'm sharing with you. The visuals in that will just give you a snapshot of the amazing, wonderful, kind, brilliant person that my best friend Mike was, and why he was so special to not just me, to so many people. He touched so many lives. And the other thing that happened as a result of this is that Tiana Camacho, who is lovely, had heard about what happened through, again, one of our friends. She's the voice of Ceres in Paladins. And she wanted to do a fundraiser to help raise money too. So we raised money. We were able to raise enough money to get Joel, Mike's brother, on a plane and fly him home, with his brother's remains back to their family. He was able to take care of everything he needed to take care of with the money we were able to raise. So that was a good thing to come out of a horrific situation. And Tiana introduced me, because she's in Paladins, she introduced me to the casting director for Paladins. And I auditioned. It was not a done deal. I had to audition. And I auditioned for the game, for a character named Yasmin Lex. She was a sound-alike for, Yasmin from Genlock, the series Genlock. And I got the part. I was not expecting that, but I got the part. And I remember being in the session with the character designer and with the voice director. And I told them, I have something to share with you, but I want to wait until we're done the session because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything else. Everything okay?
I'm sorry. I just,
there's a problem with the background and your face is reflecting the mirror.
Oh, I saw you jump. Yeah.
I got scared so much. Oh. Yeah, because this is a chroma key. Oh my god. I'm so sorry for interrupting you. Oh.
No, that Mike would, are you kidding me? Mike would have loved that. He would have loved that.
Oh my
That
god.
is hilarious. You need to keep that in the interview. You have to.
Oh my god, I just saw a face behind me.
I saw you jump and I'm just
Yeah, because I saw a face behind me. What the hell is that? And it's you, because behind me there's a mirror. Behind me there's a mirror. And it was like, oh my god. That was difficult.
That is so funny.
Please keep.
Oh, but okay, yeah, you need to put that in there. That is, and I shared, so we did a showcase. They do showcases for the characters when they come out, when they release the skins. And this Yasmin is a skin for Lex. So if Paladins players, if you like Lex, Yasmin is the skin that I did for Lex. And they did a showcase for Yasmin Lex, and they actually gave a shout out to Mike in the showcase, which I just thought was incredible. So they were talking about not just the character design and my voice acting, they gave a shout out to Mike, and it just meant everything to me that they did that. They also donated skins. They had Krampus Realm skins at the time, and Mike loved, his favorite holiday was Christmas, and he loved Krampus. So there's Krampus Realm. And so they gave us a whole bunch of skins to give away during the fundraiser, which was just so nice. I mean, the kindness that people showed to me during that horrific time from, Lonnie, of course. Lonnie has just been such a dear friend to me. And actually my first voice viewer project happened during this time. Mike passed on, it was a Friday. And on the following the Sunday after that, our baby cat Muzzy, had to be put to rest. And he was trying to hang in there to be there for us through losing Mike. And he just couldn't hold on anymore. So we put him to rest. Cause he couldn't hold on.
Yeah.
And then after that happened, I was supposed to direct on Monday. So Friday, Mike dies. Sunday we lose Muzzy. Monday, I'm supposed to direct my first project with the Voice Sphere. And I told Lonnie, I can't do this.
Yeah.
My world has been shattered. I can't direct. And she goes, I understand. I hear you. I will cover you for as long as you need me to, Lauren. I have your back, and I will do whatever you need me to do. But I think that the sooner you can get into the director's chair, the better. This is your first project with your company, and you should be in the director's chair, not me. And I was just like, I don't know if I can. She's like, I hear you. She's like, but think of it this way. It's all still going to be there waiting for you. But if you can just take that energy and put it into something productive, just for a little while, just for an hour or two, it's just going to get you out of that headspace, and you're going to be doing something that you'll feel good about doing. And she said, I will direct for as long as you want me to, but when you're ready, you should take the director's chair. And I was back in the director's chair on Wednesday. It was not easy. Yeah. And actually, Sean Grisden, our ink demon, he was the talent I was directing at that time. And he's like, I'm going to make this really easy for you. Don't worry. I've got your back. Like, you don't even have to direct me. I'll direct myself. Like, he made it so easy for me. And I just was so appreciative he did that for me. But really, Lonnie and I have been friends for a very long time. And Sean, Lonnie, we're family, and we've been there for each other through the trenches. And with Bendy, it really was the trenches. I mean, we spent a lot of time together. And so all the things that happened in our lives were part of our sessions together.
Yeah.
So we really did crawl through the inky darkness together.
Yeah, it's okay. I totally understand. I mean, it's difficult to lose a friend, maybe lose two friends, and then you have to take care of big projects which you're probably you're not sure to take care of because you feel you're not ready. I don't know if you can understand me, but
yeah,
it's difficult. I'm glad.
Difficult.
As I already said to you before, I'm glad that you finally find some friends like Sean or other ink friends from the Bendy franchise that you could find something
you can find the good way in all the dark way. I mean,
and look at what we were part of creating. I mean, I'm really proud. I'm so proud of the work that we all did. And I remember, like, Aaron and I watched a playthrough, Super Horror Bro, who we love. We love Super Horror Bro.
yeah, we're all bro, super horror bro.
He's wonderful, wonderful human being. His channel's amazing. And it all started with him reviewing and doing playthroughs of Bendy. He was part of the fundraiser too. He did a playthrough. So did Will DA Games Ryan. I mean, the community has just been incredible to us and to me personally. But yes, we were watching a playthrough of Super Horror Bro on Dark Revival, and Aaron and I were on the phone together crying because we were so proud of how it all came together. And one of the first scenes is her with Allison, and we're just like, it's us. It's like in the game. It's like sisters. This is so cool. It was very special.
Yeah, I can imagine that, bro. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, well, I'm so proud that you finally find something good. I know it's difficult to trying to not to think in something that I don't know how to say. The thing is that you're now stable. You're now
Wow.
I don't know how to find the right words.
At the beginning of July, and then Fractured Worlds happened. So it was a very similar situation to what happened with Bendy. And again, just with the folks involved in that game, I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to hear the talent in Fractured Worlds. This talent pool is just mind blowing.
Yeah. Again, anything you need to other people to see are going to be in the description. Any links, anything to support all the projects are going to be. Everything is going to be in the description. And
that's great. And listen, I mean, there's a lot of indie creatives out there, and if you are looking for someone that can help you with casting, with creative development, with directing, with finding talent, hit me up. I would love to talk to you about your project. This is what I live for this. I am passionate about other people's passions and how I can bring the best of what I can offer into that with the best people that I know. And so if that's something that's of interest to you, please hit me up through the contact form on the VoiceSphere website or through X, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Hit me up there. Yeah. I would absolutely love to talk to you about your project.
Well, anything else you will love to add?
I mean, all the links that are in below, if you believe in what Lori's doing with Apache Way Farm, support her cause. Check out her Zephy page. That's her donation page, which gives more information. And if you want to make a donation, it is greatly appreciated. It all goes to the animals. Everything goes to the well-being of those babies. And, she is so special, and so are they. And if you watch the video on that page, you'll just get a feel for that. But yeah, check out my audio production house, the VoiceSphere. Check out the Apache Way Farm Zephy page. Check out my YouTube. The music that music showcase is going to be in there as well. Am I leaving anything out? Did I cover it? There's a lot of stuff.
No, I think you tell everything. Well, so do you think we're done?
So I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, Lauren Singer, that's it for today's episode of The Colors. And thank you so much for this opportunity again. I'm saying this to you every time, but thank you for this chance. Thank you for saying this for a bit. Thank you for
it's my pleasure
for making this mini series a reality. It's cool for me.
See, you never know. That's that have courage, be kind I was talking about, the Cinderella philosophy. That's what just happened is courage. You reached out and you were very beyond kind. I mean, rolled out the red carpet to make me feel so welcome and to really allow this interview to be, yes, celebrating Bendy, but also talking about all these other things that I'm passionate about as well.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for that opportunity and for this amazing artwork and like this environment of just, being able to have this conversation in this space and to become part of a community that I haven't been part of before and to do it in honor of my best friend.
No, it's absolutely my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're done. Thank you so much for this. And
thank you, everyone.
Bye. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do right now.
So what can you expect in the coming months? Well, I can't say much. Just too many secrets being cooked up in the kitchen. But what I can say is that big things are coming. Massive things. You just watch. At Joey Drew Studios, we're going to bring dreams to life.
Thank you for joining BCC and Lauren Singer, the voice of Allison.
There's always hope.
And
Allison Angel!
for interview 1 of the Callers Initiative. Keep your eyes on this channel for more fan-made content and coverage of official Bendy content.
See you soon.